being born in Brooklyn and just being brought up in Bed-Stuy, born in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Some of the greats are from there, Biggie's from there, Jay's from there, Spike Lee, Chris Rock. All these guys are from Brooklyn, from Bed-Stuy, you know what I mean? And it just has a lot of history in Bed-Stuy. My name is Haven Prescott. I'm the CEO and creative director and designer of Syndicate. You have now entered the matrix of Expozedtv.
I have the ultimate question for you.
Okay.
What makes Syndicate different from any other fashion designer, fashion brand, just brand itself? How is it different than any other brand?
So Syndicate is so much different from any other brand that's out there because we truly live by our name. A lot of people say Syndicate, they might think of something that's a little underground or very edgy. Well, that's not what Syndicate's really about. If you look up the word syndicate, it means to bring like-minded individuals together for the same purpose, which either fashion, music, art, so it doesn't matter. And that's what we do. We try to live by a name. And even dealing with B2B, business to business, we try to really live by that name, Syndicate. This is our Glenlivet jacket. This jacket is one of my favorites, and out of all of our jackets, this is one of our highly sold out jackets that we did in regards to a collaboration. This jacket right here actually folds down into a bag. It has a hidden pocket. We did this with Glenlivet. As you can see on the front, this has a reflective ink on the front. And of course, we express the word windbreaker on there by writing it there. But if you go on the rear of this jacket actually folds down into a bag, which when you don't want to wear the jacket, you can actually close it up, zip it, and then you have the reflective ink on the front, and you have the straps. It's a stretchy strap, you put it on your shoulders, and this works very well when you want to go light. And as you can pull it back out when you want to wear it, and it goes right back into its hidden pocket. And as you can see, this is something that was a collaboration with Syndicate and the Glenlivet. We also did a pair of socks with them as well, which went really well.
Did you create that name?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Thought of it?
So this is interesting how I came up with that name. So I've been around fashion for many, many years. A lot of my family is in the business, entertainment and things like that. Some of my cousins are stylists for entertainers and things like that. When it came to that name, I grew up as, one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah. So it had a magazine that was distributed during that time, which was called a Syndicate. It was distributed for some time, and what they did is they tried to bring all like-minded people together in regards to spirituality in the Bible. And that's what captured my interest. We was looking for a new name to name the business, and that came about. I was like, wow, Syndicate, but we kept the dots in between because when you look it up, that's how it actually sounded out, Syndicate.
Which is good, because for people that are like bilingual like me, sometimes I put the Spanish alphabet in my head and I'm like, wait, what does this word say? So I like it, you know what I mean?
And we kept the dots, and also for us, like it helped us to kind of streamline the business a little more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just leaving the name like that, and then everything else we do, we kind of follow suit along with that.
We're heavy into pushing out our brand. We want to make ourselves known here in the Boston community. A lot of people wonder how we get to be partners with some of these big time companies like the Glenlivet. We're currently working on a project with Puma, and that's part of like the day-to-day hustle. So we'll reach out to a couple of companies a day. We try to work with companies that we try to share their vision. And so I'll make sure that you know, my day-to-day consists of, you know, targeting those companies and reaching out to them and trying to make a collaboration work.
So the teddy bear represents a lot of people in this world today. They go through anxiety, and we really don't see the scars, right? But some people act out those scars, you know, in life. But instead of the person wearing those scars, we said, let's come up with something that actually anybody can relate to. And so many people deal with anxiety. I'm actually one of those individuals that actually deals with anxiety.
I love how you're okay and comfortable to say that, because a lot of men of color, you know, even with my dad, they were taught not to express that, not to think that that anxiety even can exist in their body.
Right.
So the fact that you even, you know, brought that up is so powerful.
Yeah, and it's like even the fact of even going to the doctor, you know, men of color are not really hip on going to the doctor.
No,
they don't want to go. Their foot is halfway off. They're like, look, I'm gonna put a Band-Aid on this and it's gonna be all right. You know, but the thing is, one thing that my mother always told me before she passed is that, you know, if you don't express yourself, you keep it bottled in, that makes you an angry person.
Yeah.
So I try to express how I feel and keep it out there. And sometimes it's like a gift and a curse.
Yeah, it is.
You know, in some ways. You know, and I just try to, you know, anxiety is something that you don't want to keep in because it could damage you mentally.
Yeah.
And that's something that I normally speak about it, I talk about it. We've hosted events, you know, for mental health awareness in regards to anxiety. And, you know, I've known some kids that, you know, I grew up with, you know, committed suicide based off of that. Like, they didn't talk about how they felt.
Yeah.
They didn't, you know, want to speak about how they felt. They kept it bottled in. Or on the other side of the tracks, there were kids who didn't talk about these things and got themselves, you know, into a life of crime or into other things because they didn't know how to express.
That's how they express themselves.
That's how they express themselves. They didn't know how to correctly express themselves when they came to how they felt and things like that. So fortunately, my mother was really close with me, you know, and my dad being from the Caribbean, they're pretty tough.
They are.
You
They're
know?
like, what?
So
like,
they don't, and they don't always express how they feel.
No.
And as time progressed, my dad did as I got older, but my mom was always there and helped to balance that out when it came to expressing your feelings. And she said, just because you're a man, she said, a real man will cry.
I love
And
that.
I always accepted that a real man will cry and show his feelings and not be afraid to. And that made me a better person for that.